Hey guys, good morning. My name is Nina Means. I'm the director for Austin Community College Fashion Incubator, and you're back here with us for a coffee talk. This is a talk we do once a week. Every Mondays, we try to start off our week and get a chance to connect with you and what's going on in our industry. We talk about a lot of our programming and things like that, but we also talk about what's happening just in the larger scope of things. So last time we talked about the Amazon luxury stores that were opening. We'll be talking about some other McKinsey reports and some additional retail ideas that may be of interest for brands that are trying to hack this time. Being in this pandemic has really opened up a completely different kettle of fish, so to speak, where we are having to reinvent how we're going to market or possibly just accelerate some of the plans that we had when we were considering what it meant for us to go into market and how we wanted to evolve. I think the beauty of what's happening in the fashion industry is that it's really pushing us into some spaces where we are having to insist on sustainability and transparency and designing for what our customer truly needs. And so as we're looking at that and the kinds of things that we're doing in our world, what we wanted to do during this particular fashion talk, but for this particular coffee talk, is to really laser in and laser focus on what it is that we do as the fashion incubator. I think a lot of people are like, "Oh, that's all great and everything, but what is it? What do you do? How did it get started?" So just a little bit of background on our program, in case you may have missed it from other talks. I wanted to kind of reintroduce us and let you know that we've gotten started. Our program, the Austin Community College Fashion Incubator, was actually started with a partnership with the City of Austin and Gerber Technology with the community college. And the primary reason why they were wanting to do something like this is that, as Austin was looking for various growth industries to really invest in, fashion became one of those areas that was actually demonstrating value and demonstrating growth. And so as we, had researched the community and dug deeper into that, the city said, we really want to support this. And what's going to be the best way to help businesses go to market? Well, their solution, along with Austin Community College and Gerber, was to create an incubator. And this is an opportunity that we've had to build the incubator from the ground up. We've had about $13 million worth of hardware and software programming added into software and hardware added into our program so that we're able to actually leverage that technology into helping businesses grow productively, helping them grow sustainably, and helping them grow transparently. And so we're really excited about our partnership with Gerber Technology. And I'll tell you a little bit more about when you could possibly be looking forward to hearing from them soon. However, I wanted to talk a little bit more about just the program in general before I kind of dig into what we're really excited about, which is some of these new brands getting started. So we were able to get started with just really laying the foundation, building out the infrastructure, getting everything set and in place, and then the pandemic hit, right? And so our plans have really been to shift our world into a virtual space. And so typically working in fashion, there's a huge tactile component where you want to touch and smell and taste, not really taste, but you want to touch and smell, the materials and the fibers, and, you're creating the product, and there's a lot of, face-to-face collaboration. But now we've been taking all of that into an online virtual experience. And let me tell you, I think what's been incredible about this is that it's really helped us to really focus on the core business aspects. We're not teaching people how to be creative. We believe that you come to us with your own creativity, so we're happy to support you in that. However, what we do help you to do is to really iron out your target customer, to understand where your product fits into the market, looking at your sales channels and how those are, being maximized or not. And then looking at how we can really support you as you work on building your sustainability. So we do a variety of things. There's tons of classes on e-commerce and analytics, and how we're supporting business modeling and understanding customer psychology. These are all a part of our very robust program. However, no program like this would be complete without mentorship. I believe that this is really what's taking our brands really to the next level. And so what we want to do is I kind of gave myself a bit of a scaffold about how I want to go through this. But I wanted to give you kind of like, here's what it is up front, and then let's kind of dig in one by one and share with you a little bit more about what it is that you can expect if you are going to join a part of the Fashion Incubator. So the Fashion Incubator is a paid program. We do a monthly service fee for the virtual delivery. And then once we're able to come onto campus, there's a separate fee for the studio and sample room. So if you are a part of our incubator, you get a ton of support, you get a ton of resources to help you bring your product to market, as well as guiding you in the sales space, getting you connected to legal resources to help you refine your contracts and all of that. So the Fashion Incubator, guys, is really about identifying small businesses. Ideally, we're looking for businesses that are, let me kind of back up a second, because I get really excited about this program. And so I'm like, let me tell you about this. Let me tell you about that. So let me just pull it back for just 2 seconds. And let's just talk about, what is it? What's an incubator? An incubator is a space where small businesses or to-be small businesses come to be able to build out their business models, to make sure that their setup is correct, whether you're an LLC or S Corp or what have you. It's a space for you to get the proper footing to be able to build your business. And so for creatives, a lot of times we can say, hey, I'm really gifted. I can make products, but I'm not as good at making my products for many people. So I'm not really sure how to go from 1 or 2 or even 10 pieces of something sized appropriately for my customer to going to 100 or 1,000 or even 10,000 units. What's scalable, what's possible. And so one of the things that we do is we actually help you understand what that process is, to be able to get your product through the gauntlet, as we call it, of product development and production. How you can get through that in a cost-effective way, but also in a way that's going to help you thrive. And so we really want to see businesses turning profitable over the course of the time that they're with us. We will absolutely give them all the tools they need to do that. However, the implementation is really where we see an opportunity with creating these ride-alongs where you have a mentor who's helping to ride alongside of you to help you get through all of those steps. And so for a lot of startups, a lot of creative startups, they typically go it alone. And in the startup world, you guys will probably know that a lot of that is really kind of a recipe for easy burnout. Sometimes it's an indicator of not having long-term success. And so what we try to do is to create the dynamic of getting used to working alongside of someone else, and being able to have some level of accountability outside of yourself to be able to grow your business. And so whether it's vendors and contractors that you're working with that are, your surrogate or, stand-in staff that help you get to the next level, or whether it's an actual formalized partner, we really help businesses kind of reevaluate how they've set themselves up in order to determine what's going to help them move to the next level. And this is really key. So, in terms of the kinds of businesses that we're looking for, I get this question an awful lot. What kind of brands are you looking for to join the Fashion Incubator? We are looking for brands who want to build business. This is a really difficult distinction between those who just enjoy making and those who enjoy making and building a brand. And so there's that building a brand component may require some of your hands to come off of the product temporarily, or at least in part, in order to allow it to grow. And I think that that's really key. So for some creatives, we found that as much as they love the idea of becoming a brand, what they really want to spend their time doing is sitting in their sewing room and stitching up product. If that's you, that's great. Like enjoy it, love it. But typically what will need to happen is that as you grow, unless you're building out a team, you probably won't get as much time on the product because someone's going to have to drive the ship. Right. I have this experience quite a lot. I'm a designer by trade. I've done a lot of other parts of the business. I've worked in development, I've done production, I've been an instructor. And so all of those things are of interest to me. But I constantly have to get reminded that says, hey, you know what, you're in a different seat right now. You're driving right now. And so you can't physically do all of those different components on your own. You may be able to do them all at different times, but what we're looking for are people who understand that my role is going to have to shift a bit for me to be able to actually grow my brand, which is going to be a bit more of a critical eye, an eye that's going to have to be able to step back from the making in order to be able to realize the product, not just for themselves, but for a wider audience. So a lot of that has to do with psychological orientation. We don't do a psychology exam, but we do look for evidence of understanding of what it takes for you to be a business. So if you're thinking about what your customer wants instead of what you want to design for yourself in your personal closet, if you have actually been selling product and you've been, producing and reproducing product that your customer enjoys, if you have the experience of putting product out there and you realize, hey, you know what, I'm only spending about 30% of my time designing. And I'm okay with that because the rest of my business needs me to be a marketer, I have to be, or I have to partner with my marketing team. I have to be, thinking about what my next, development's going to be. I need to manage my production. I need to, be looking at, alternative sales channels and building my pipeline. If those are all things that you're thinking about, this program was probably, or you would like to be thinking about, this is a program that will probably be best suited for you because we really want to see you grow your business. So, you may say to me, Nina, I don't know what those things are that you just talked about, but I want to know. That's good too. I think that we need people who are understanding of, what they lack and what they need to get filled into. And one of the things that we did that I think is, probably one of the best things that we did was we actually asked our participants in this first cohort, we've got 6 brands. In this first cohort, we asked them to submit to us 2 to 4 questions of things that they wanted to learn over the course of the time that they're with us in the incubator. Really, we wanted to make sure that we answered those questions, whether it be through the curriculum or mentorship, but also that we made sure that they left with their bucket full, so to speak. Like I want to make sure that if you came to me for e-commerce analytics, that I poured all the way into your analytics bucket and you walked away with exactly what you needed, in addition to the other things that we felt like you needed in order to grow. So if we felt like, hey, your analytics that's great and everything, but your target customer is off, you're not talking to your customer correctly, let's get that fixed first, and then let's see how that's going to be affected in your e-com and your analytics and your testing space. All of these things work together, and so we are really, we're really interested in brands who want to grow, who are interested in developing beyond what it is that they're able to do by themselves. Another question I've asked, or another question that people have asked me quite a lot is, how long? How long is the incubator program? And I will tell you that depending on who you talk to in terms of like accelerators or other fashion-based incubators, our timing falls somewhere in between. So if you're doing an accelerator program, these could be anywhere between 8 to 12 weeks, just kind of like focused content, you're in and out, and you just get a quick ride along and then you get spit out on the other end. There are others that are, maybe 5 months long and a bit more, and I'm still kind of talking in that accelerator space. Then if you look at fashion incubators, those can be 2 to 3 years long. And so what we did was we split the difference because we are kind of part accelerator and part incubator, in the sense of a lot of incubators may not have a structured curriculum. We do. because we feel like we need to be able to have specific content that we share with you over the course of the time that you're with us. But we also feel like there's going to be a time when you just need to be able to sit and implement all the things that you've learned. And we want to make sure that you get as much as you possibly can while you're with us. So our incubator runs for 12 months. So our team just onboarded in October. They're going to be our first September issue, volume 1, that will exit next September 2021. They are able to actually stay in their studios for another year. And that's something that I think is really key, because what we wanted to do is to make sure that as they're building their brand and they're taking the time to learn all these things, that they've got a little bit more time to ride alongside of us to be able to work on implementation. So they'll have those spaces available for them if they want to stay on for an additional 12 months, but they have to demonstrate value. So we're not just kind of like having everyone hang out and, but we really we want them to show us that they're utilizing the resources, utilizing the space, that it's not just a placeholder, that it's somewhere that they can come and get work done. They can have meetings. One day, whenever we're all meeting again in person, they'll be able to use the sample room equipment or bring in their team to be able to use sample room equipment and to be able to actually work on realizing their product, which is something we're really excited about using, especially with the Gerber technology, the 2D pattern design software, the 3D pattern design software. All of this makes it so much more possible for brands to work exceptionally efficiently. And so we want our brands in space to be using those pieces of equipment, not to mention the automatic cutter. So, there's so many things that would help them accelerate and push their businesses forward. But we want to see those brands in there using them as soon as we can get over this hurdle with COVID-19. So one of the things, so it's a 12-month program, to answer that question, how long? It's a 12-month program. And this is really key because we really feel that we need to be able to provide in-depth content. If you've heard me speak, I'm a quick talker, just because I've got so much I want to share with you. I'm like, let me tell you this, let me tell you that. I have to tell myself to slow down quite a bit. But it's so important for me to be able to pack in as much as we possibly can, so that you understand where we're coming from. So also, I want to make sure that you feel like you're getting a high value, for what it is that you're learning. So all of our sessions are not necessarily fast talking, but they are chock full of content and chock full of meaty content. And that's really important to us. So our designers meet with us once a week. We do a 1 2-hour session every single week, but we do 6-week chunks. So right now they're doing target customer. They'll be getting into some legal, components and understanding their sales contracts. They'll be working on a development calendar in the unique PLM system, which is product lifecycle management, brought to us from Gerber Technology. Incredible system. I feel like I've got to do a whole separate coffee talk on just that. Actually, I think that's not a bad idea. I'm making a note to myself. But all the things that the product lifecycle management system can do and how it helps you build your business. Typically, these kinds of softwares are only available for huge companies. So our emerging brands get access to build their brands with the best. And so that's something that we really value highly, is that our partnership with Gerber Technology allows us to help brands get to the next level that they couldn't do on their own. So that's really key here. So during that 12 months, they learn these technology systems, they refine these technology systems, and then whenever they leave, they're able to take those things with them. So that's really exciting. In terms of what you should expect, so what should I expect? So what you should expect from doing the Fashion Incubator is you should expect that you will have a team full of people who are highly interested in your success. But that team of highly interested people will probably not trump your own interest in your own success. And so we will want to see your own inner drive come out for what it is that you're creating. It's your time, it's your money, it's your brand, it's your investment. So we'll want to see more drive come from you than from us. But we love this industry and we love this business and we love small business. And so we really are excited to cultivate talent, in its many forms. So whether you are streetwear or women's wear or evening wear or casual, We children's wear, we really do not discriminate in terms of categories, and we actually really encourage more diversity in categories. And so the reason why we do that is because, one, we really want to see a variety of different designers contributing to the fashion industry landscape here in Austin. But we also want to kind of protect your space as well, because, whenever we have too many brands that are too similar, we've noticed that it's easy to get overly inspired by others. And so we are, working on just making sure that that's something that's of high interest to us, is just making sure that we protect you and your business as you go forward. Now, ultimately, your business is your business, but our primary goal is to create the best possible environment for you to thrive. So you should expect an invested, engaged, team around you. The Fashion Incubator team is incredible. They've all worked in the industry. They've all done different parts of the business. They've got a lot of information to share within the core team, but we also have hourly staff, our hourly team, that actually help with helping you get your product complete, or being able to answer quick questions about some of the pattern design software, or getting you set up with a cut. We are able to help walk you through some of those processes, and to be able to introduce to you some of these other technologies as you go along. And so this is something that we're really proud of, that our team is knowledgeable, that they are helpful, that it's a very inclusive and collaborative working environment. And so that's something you could expect. You can also expect interaction with our advisory board, who are incredible mentors, and are actually serving as mentors for the first cohort of the Fashion Incubator. They come from brands Foot Locker, Champs, Saks, Coldwater Creek, Calvin Klein, Esprit, Perry Ellis. These are all the different brands that they hail from, and they are doing incredible work, and they want to help build small business. They're very, very interested in helping to build small business and cultivating talent here locally. So if you're here in Austin, what you could expect from working with the Fashion Incubator is not just learning from our core team, who does have relevant experience with Fortune 500 companies, as well as small brands, but you'll get access to our advisory board, who is second to none. Some of the most amazing people I've ever worked with, and have incredible research. They have incredible backgrounds, and having worked in the fashion industry. So I really wanted to kind of open that up for you guys and help you understand, where we are and what we're doing here at the Fashion Incubator. I think it kind of helps you to kind of prepare, yourselves for what's possible and what's coming up. We do have other programs that kind of lead you into this. So if you're like, I'm still trying to figure out whether or not this is for me, I'm not sure if this is really where I am right now. And if you're still kind of considering, am I wanting to do a fashion business, or am I just thinking about it? Our course that we actually just launched here with Macy's is a wonderful prequel to the Designer in Residence program. So it's really just a highlight of all the things that a lot of these brands have already started to do, kind of understanding your customer, setting color palettes, what's the design and development process, capital and financing, just some very high level content pieces that you can walk away with to think about how are you, going to build your brand? How are you going to build your business? And what kinds of things are going to be required from you in order to build your business? So I think that's really key for you to think about what you need in order to even consider this as a pathway. So we really wanted to make sure to do that there. If you've been joining us on the YouTube channel, you see that we do a lot of on-demand content. So if you go back to our workshop Wednesdays, or to ACCFI Presents, or even to some of the coffee talks, you'll see some additional content that you can just kind of watch on demand, whether it's, kind of us getting our week started like we are right now, or going through a specific group of topics. I do a workshop Wednesday for I think we're on product development right now. And so you'll get a chance to see me go through every single stage of product development and to be able to understand what's happening at those different phases. And then on Fridays is when we try to have conversations with other brands, other people about what's going on in their business. So these are ways that we've been able to make some significant impact with our community in terms of just sharing content regularly. But feel free to go back to our YouTube channel and just kind of check out the scroll of all those different playlists that we've been building up there. I think you'll have a good time kind of checking in on what's happening in our world. But then the last thing is, and this is something that's going up live at the end of the week, is the ATX plus Egypt 2. So ATX plus Egypt 1 was a program that we actually participated in last December 2019, or end of November, beginning of December 2019. And that particular program was so amazing. It was really focused on fashion and technology, and it was really kind of setting the groundwork for what's possible in terms of what kinds of brands do we want to explore, what kinds of projects can we investigate to increase these exchanges between countries. And one of the programs that really stood out while we were there was fashion, whether it's from textiles, agricultural goods, to manufacturing, to designer exchange. All of those things became evident that there'd be a benefit to do more in that space. And so as a result, ATX Egypt 2 was born out of ATX Egypt 1. And so 2 is now the phase where we're gonna really double down on fashion. And so this is a fashion entrepreneurship exchange program where we are taking a handful of designers from Cairo, from Egypt, and a handful of designers from Austin, and meeting weekly for 4 months starting in December. These brands are a bit more established, so they've been in business for at least 2 years, 2 years of sales. So you'll have to submit your sales data to be able to be considered. But these businesses should be able to benefit from learning how to grow beyond their current market. So this is really about global expansion. So if you've been selling successfully, locally, and you're like, hey, I've got some sales, I've got some traction, I've been building, this is an opportunity now for you to look at other markets, to learn about what other markets require in order for you to grow your business into a new space. And so this is really a unique opportunity. We're partnering with La Reina Gowns in Cairo. It's basically like the Rent the Runway of Egypt. It's an incredible platform. And we're also working with Fashion by Events here in Austin. But we're all working under the City of Austin Global Business Expansion, funded by the U.S. Embassy of Cairo. So this is a really robust program. It's an exciting program, but the ACC Fashion Incubator will be taking the lead on virtual business education. So whether it's fashion management or entrepreneurship, you'll be doing all of that here with us at the Fashion Incubator. So this is really our acceleration program that we're really, really excited to get started. So to make a long story short, we've had a very busy fall, and it's only getting busier. We're really excited about what's to come and how these things are going to be taking shape. But already, in the month of October, we've launched the Designer in Residence Cohort 1. We have started the Macy's course, the virtual series, The Future of Fashion 6-week course. And then starting this Thursday, applications will go live for this new accelerated program, ATX plus Egypt 2. So if you are looking to take your fashion brand, your fashion entrepreneurship a step further, this program is really the one for you. So definitely keep watch of what's happening in our world in terms of our if you're not on our email list, definitely check that out, fashion.incubator@austincc.edu, or check out our social media handles at ACC Fashion Incubator on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, and then on Twitter at ACC Fashion Incube. And keep up with all the things that we've got going on. We're really busy. if you can tell. And we're enjoying every second of it, ironing out the kinks as we go. But we are really excited about creating value and turning things on and making a huge impact in our community. But we are really, we're on our way, and we hope to see you join us join us on this journey. And we're definitely looking forward to keeping you guys up to date. Before I end here, I had to note that we get really great emails. And there is a particular email that I received from, let's see, I'll tell you. I received an email today from Ms. Marynell Davis, and she watches our show Fashion Hour. If you guys weren't aware, we did 2 seasons of Fashion Hour before COVID, and those 2 seasons are on Spectrum Channel 19 and on the PBS channel. And so if you haven't seen it, I think it typically comes on Thursday nights at 7. But it's a show that we tape with local industry professionals that kind of unpack some of their brands and whatnot. And so what was really cool was that Miss Davis had seen our show with Dina Chavez from Six Shell. It's a brand here, and Miss Loretta Edelin, and she was really impressed with the talk that we did on diversity and inclusion about a year ago. And so, we've seen a lot of our people that we really appreciate. We appreciate getting these little notes from time to time, and getting a little bit of a boost, from knowing that people are not just watching the content, but are enjoying the content as well. So Ms. Davis, if you're watching, we just wanted to let you know that we do see the things that you're doing, and we appreciate your comments, and we will absolutely address some of the misconceptions in sizing that you noted in your email. And thanks so much for watching and for supporting the Fashion Incubator. So guys, without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and close out here. It's a pleasure to be with you. You guys are fantastic. You guys have been an amazing community to work for, and we look forward to doing more for you in the future. So if you have any questions or comments, please shoot us an email, fashion.incubator@austincc.edu. We will get back to you as fast as we possibly can. And we are happy to see you guys engaging with us on all of our platforms, YouTube channel, all the way to Instagram, to LinkedIn even. So we're looking forward to seeing you guys. And let me know if you have any other questions about the program. Send me other questions that you want me to answer during Coffee Talk. I'm happy to do it. If you send us a quick note to fashion.incubator@austincc.edu, we'll take those suggestions and put them into the queue for Coffee Talk. All right, guys, thanks so much. Take care.